businesses, relationships, and basketball. What do these three things have in common? Well, in order to succeed in any of them, you have to be willing to take on the risk of the failure that could be associated with those things. Right? I was mulling this over today in my head, just thinking about it. I think a lot of people don't do things in their lives because they fear the risk of the failure that might come along with those things. Right? So, fear of failure is no excuse, in my opinion, to not do something. I think a lot of times that holds people back, and it's held me back before. It's like, I might fail at this thing, and I don't think I can handle that level of failure. You just move on. You just got to keep on going, and not let yourself get, forget about the past when you failed and start looking towards the future, and trying to recognize that you failed before. Learn from your failure, but also recognize there's nothing you can do about the things that you've messed up on before. They've happened. And, you just got to move forward. And so, this fear of failure with anything, it should never stop you from going after something you think you should go after, okay? Whatever it is. Like, if you're going to start a business, like I said, there's a decent amount of risk that goes along with becoming an entrepreneur and going out and starting your own business. I've talked to a bunch of entrepreneurs, and they're like, yeah, it's stressful as can be at times. And there's that risk of, I just don't make enough money, I mess up, I don't get to pay my loans. Like, there's a lot of risk involved there. But also, there's a great amount of reward if you're willing to, put yourself out there like that. And some people aren't, and that's fine. But, people who have these great business ideas and don't go after it, it's a real sad thing, in my opinion, because they have a ton of potential they could offer to society, and they could actually better themselves if they're willing to put the sacrifices in that were required. But that fear of failure, I think, holds a lot of people back. Or even in relationships, like if you're going to go ask a girl on a date, that takes a decent amount of confidence, there's always that chance she just says, nope, don't want to go on a date with you. Fair enough, but now there's plenty of fish in the sea too. So there's no point in wasting your time with someone who doesn't want to go on a date with you. So that risk of failure, it's going to hurt your ego if she says no, which makes sense, okay? But that's no reason not to try. Just give it a shot. Who knows? You just never know. And even basketball. If you're going against someone that is probably better than you, which I've done quite a few times. There's that risk of failure, and you just learn from it. I get better by playing against people who are better than I am. And, maybe they rub it in my face. Maybe they're like, you're such a scrub. You don't even know how to play. It's like, okay, fair enough. I guess I deserve that. But, you better yourself by putting yourself in those type of situations where there's risk involved, and, everything's kind of on the line for a second. And you're just going to, it's like I said, when you're starting a business, it's like, from what I understand, you don't know everything when you start your first business. And that makes sense. You don't know everything, but all you can do is try and do everything as perfectly as you are able to. That's all you can do. And there's failure that could come along with that. If you mess up, if you make the wrong calls, if you don't finance things correctly, you could fail. It could be bad. But the reward, if you really put your heart and soul into it and you try really hard, all the entrepreneurs I have talked to who have succeeded have said, listen, it was terrible first couple years, but then got past it, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Right? And, they had the guts to basically look at that failure and say, I understand this could happen, but I'm going to do it anyways. So don't let failure stop you from doing anything, because there's so much you should try and do that is going to inevitably have risk involved with it, where you could fail. But so what? You fail and you move on. You just keep on going. And so anyways, I'll stop rambling on, but don't let failure stop you. The fear of failure stop you from going and trying anything, because then you'll never know if you could have succeeded at what you were thinking about trying, right? Anyways, thanks for watching Man in the Making. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you guys later.